It's the Good Slate Late Show with your host, Graham Jones.
Hi, and welcome in again. I'm Graham Jones, and this is the Good Slate Late Show, whatever the hell. Today we have the amazing JOHN NANIA. Welcome in, John.
Thanks for having me in, sir.
John is the stunt double for Bucky Barnes, a.k.a. Sebastian Stan. So tell us,
the honor.
yes, when you get the honor, tell us a little bit about your introduction into the MCU.
Are we talking as like
what was
your Sebastian or Bucky? Or are we
was
talking
your
about like
first?
this is the first time
What
I've
was
ever
your
done
first
something in the MCU?
MCU moment?
Current Disney world. Like I'm trying to think of like MCU, like where how far back was because you go back to like, the Marvel Netflix things, and that was probably
I would say the first one would have been like Iron Man, technically, right? Was it Iron Man?
I wasn't in Iron Man.
Right.
Like,
but like I'm saying,
okay,
like
so
we're going back that
not
far.
like Netflix.
No.
Okay. Then no, my first time I think in was Avengers: Infinity War.
Okay.
And that was though they shot that simultaneously with Endgame, which was a massive production. You know.
Yeah, back to back. That went on for like 2 years, right?
It went on for 3 years.
Wow.
They're on 3 years, and I came in towards the end. I was actually brought in as a backup double for. And the initial thing before we went into reshoots, I was brought in as a backup double for Chris Evans.
Okay.
And then they went immediately into reshoots, and I ended up being one of the Outriders. So if you're looking in like the fight scene in Wakanda and the big four-armed beasts attacking people, hey, that was me.
There you are. Yeah.
Specifically, if you're looking like when Denai and Scarlet are fighting back to back, I was attacking them. So that was the moment in there as much as it was. But that was my first time like doing
in the MCU. Yeah.
In the MCU.
Yeah, I mean, as it has stemmed a lot over the last. I didn't realize that filmed 3 years. Actually, that's
probably about that. I mean, you think about it, it was a.
You're still getting paid from that, then.
Yes,
that's absolutely insane.
Hopefully forever. You know, man, people love those movies. It's. I still like those movies.
100%. Endgame's still my favorite.
Yeah. I mean, amazing.
I mean, it kind of ends every like Endgame, but like it kind of is the correlation of everything.
Yeah,
so,
I mean, my only complaint with it is every complaint I have with any Marvel thing is just could have used more Bucky, but I'm really biased.
Right.
You know, that's just it. But there were some good moments in there.
I can see that. Also, is Sebastian Stan actually? I heard he got Mark Hamill's blessing. So what's happening with this?
To my understanding, the conversations that we've talked about, because there's definitely if you put Sebastian as Luke Skywalker,
right,
it's uncanny. How much he looks
yeah, I've seen the photos.
And we've talked about it. It's because I've specialized in 2 Japanese sword styles, and I'm a complete and utter geek and love all those things. So if you give me a lightsaber, like I'm about to pick this light up and be like,
yeah,
I will refrain, but trust me, you know
the
urge is there. Like you have that. So we have talked about it, and I guess that there has been a conversation between him and Mark. And Mark
he's all for it.
It's Mark Hamill.
Right.
He's a legend and everything.
Oh, yeah.
Best Joker, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And Luke Skywalker. If he had no other credits in his entire career,
that's all he needs.
That's all you need.
Yeah.
And he's Sebastian's. And yes, I may be biased, but I think it's also you could support this. I really think he's one of the best actors that we have in the industry to date. You look at everything. I mean, this past year alone, nominated for 2 Golden Globes for different movies, won one of them, nominated for an Academy Award for.
Oh yeah, the dude's got range.
Yeah,
he's got range.
He's a chameleon. He blends into those roles, and he is so committed to everything. So Mark Hamill seeing it's like he's a phenomenal actor. He should do it. And you have Sebastian, and the 2 things.
He's a fan. Mark Hamill's a fan.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, how can you not? The guy is, and he's amazing as you ever would hope he is.
Oh, yeah.
It's one of those things like, he is wonderful, and I'm happy to report he is.
Yeah, I just didn't know if you had any inside information on that. Was hoping we could know a little bit.
Mark Hamill's still doing the job, so Sebastian's very much he's still acting, he's still doing those things.
Right.
And then more importantly, which actually matters, as Sebastian said, he's like they're not calling.
Yeah.
So if they don't call you, you can't do the job.
Yeah, you can't do anything until you get that phone call.
If there's anybody from Dave Filoni, if you're listening,
maybe make that call.
We'd be
I support it.
Down. I would go into the old expanded universe where it's the Luke with the LUUK.
Yeah.
And it was the
Yeah.
clone of that.
The
and
real,
it was a little like
the
Vader's
real
clone
Luke.
of it and
Yeah.
things like that. I think that'd be cool because then you're also not stepping over the lore of the original Luke Skywalker and everything goes into it. But you could have a darker version that's trying to figure it out.
And I think he'd play that really well, actually.
Crush it.
I mean, it's basically Bucky.
And then
He is the dark version. Yeah.
Well, I mean, he can do the charming and charismatic and brooding exceptionally well, which is why I'm like, dude, you should play Batman. Put him in for that. He's a good-looking guy.
You know what?
He'd be charismatic as Bruce Wayne, and then dark and brooding. He's got down.
Let's just have him do everything. You know,
I'm so for it.
He'll just do it all. Whatever.
Yes.
He could be Blade.
It's
maybe not.
You know, we could probably figure something out in there. I'm more for like, great, let's make a sequel to Tu Wong Fu, Thanks for Everything, Julie Newmar, and let's do something in drag.
I like it. I like it.
You know, that's very different.
Would he do it?
I think he absolutely.
Oh yeah. Oh no. Interesting. I would like to see that. I would support it.
Things that he does, and he's always picking roles that are more out there. He is never stuck to the role of like, hey, you're the good-looking leading man type thing. If you watch it, the movie A Different Man, probably one of the best performances in his entire career to date. I mean, the whole thing, he's wearing those prosthetics.
Right.
He would wake up early, and because the prosthetic artist was working on another show, he would just get up early. He would get into prosthetics, but then I guess call times weren't until about noon. So Sebastian would just go out in New York, and he'd just be, and he would watch how people interact with him and would treat him.
His prosthetics.
Yeah. And nobody, I mean, you're sitting like on the subway and you just have this guy with this massive tumors on his face.
Jesus.
And you'd have people just like, don't look at him or something like this. It's like, don't bother him. We're trying to take a picture. And it opened his world to, wow, you know, this is a perspective I've never seen before. I've never noticed. And it's like, this is just how people are treating somebody like this. And he will do the work to get into that, to understand, to make that performance, which is probably why it's one of
that's a real method acting technique there. That's interesting.
It's he's
just go out in public. Yeah, he is good. So tell us a little bit about how you got into stunts. Like, what was your transition into the stunt realm?
Do you get the same joke every time when you ask that question to somebody? Oh, I fell into it.
100%.
Because it's the stunt guy.
That's what I say.
Yeah, it's like, I just fell into it.
Literally.
You know a bit of the story. Do you want me to tell the story?
Yeah. You can go back over it because I just recently found out several interesting. You were a private contractor.
I was a private contractor before I got into stunts. That was I started in security, and
I was not aware of that.
I was actually, when I got to Los Angeles, I had a job, and the guy that was playing the devil was working security and contracting, and then he found out my extensive martial arts background and training, and he's like, you know, you're working in a bar. Do you want to come do this? It's a little more fun. And I was like, yeah, this is great. So I literally took a job from the devil, which for a few years.
So if you want into the entertainment industry, just sell your soul.
It's, you know, it's probably the simplest, most direct way to go.
Yeah, me and him started at the same time. Look at his career. Look at mine.
And Sam Hargrave too, and look where he's at. That guy is, I mean,
really sold his soul.
The last time he fell down, he may have done it just to be like, I can still do this and go, but he hasn't.
Yeah.
It's I can't wait to watch Matchbox. They were doing some amazing stuff in Budapest. But to keep a little more on topic, so I was contracting. I was contracting at the time. I was a bodyguard for Rihanna, and we were escorting her to the airport, and we were required to have firearms on us for the contract, and which was stupid. It's like, you know, if somebody's going to shoot at you, it's not in the movies. We're not going to return fire or get into those things. I am going to run as fast as I can, and
it's not going to be like Bodyguard.
No,
it's not going to be. It's not going to be like a Bodyguard.
I like her enough. I'm taking her with me. And I got pulled over, and then I ended up actually in jail in Santa Monica. And being processed because I had the firearm.
Gun in the car.
I was very much like, hey, just so you know, there's a firearm in the backseat. I know I should have stowed it better, but
they were like, criminal.
He told us. I got pulled out, and I got put in, and you know, I'm going through the whole thing, and I'm thinking, this is just stupid. It's a misdemeanor in California to do this, and the whole time they're taking pictures of my tattoos, and you know, the officer taking my pictures is like, you know, you're in awfully good mood, honey, and I'm like, well, you know, it was stupid. I made a mistake. I got this. I'll get a misdemeanor, so I'll pay the fine and do this. And she's like, no, baby doll, you don't get it.
Yeah.
And then it hit me that at an airport, It's a federal offense.
Yep.
So I'm not going to get processed and released. I'm going to go to prison to get processed and released, and had much more weight. And I was fortunate that so they never take you to prison on a Friday. You're going to sit in the holding cell, and they're going to transfer you on Monday. I know this not because I've been to prison, but because when I was a contractor, I worked alongside with police officers, so I knew a lot of this stuff.
I know this too, not for that reason. Yes.
It's a great way to make friends.
Oh, yeah, 100%. Not the best friends, just going to throw that out there. But they are friends.
For life.
Yeah.
But the watch commander comes in from the arresting officer early Monday morning, and they're like, dude, get the hell out of here. And I was like, thanks for saving my life. And she was like, yeah, I know. So I got out. I couldn't get my car from the impound. It was nowhere close to my apartment. Uber really wasn't a company at the time. This is how old I am.
2005, yeah.
Something about that, yeah. And so I spent the night on the street, woke up, got my car, got home, waiting for everything to happen. And my sister, who's probably the greatest attorney on the planet, who's also my attorney, got a meeting with the DA. And we go and we meet with him. And he's like, look, I don't usually do this, but I had to meet the guy that she's been talking about. Right. So he's like, what's the deal? Do you like your job? And I'm like, no. Not really. I mean, like, you have this here and this, and it's like, it's not what I moved out here for. It was a job that I made a really good amount of money, so it made me comfortable. Right. As my friend Kim Dill would always say, it's like, you fat and happy. I don't really think I'm fat, but it's like the saying of, you're fat and happy, so you're not motivated to change things. Right. So that job made me very comfortable. And he's like, what do you want to do? And I'm like, well, I moved out here, and I really want to be in stunts. He's like, okay. Here's what we're going to do. And he gets rid of my file. And he's like, we're going to throw this out. We're just going to say, didn't happen unless you want to do anything with the police department because there's some other questionable things. I'm like, no.
Federal offense. We're just going to waive that off.
Yes. He's like, we're just going to get away. And he's like, I would like to offer you a job. I'm like, okay. Damn. It's like, I have a rich client who doesn't like people with firearms because he goes into places and it just slows things down. He wants people to move. You have enough life skills with training and everything. He's a driver that's retiring. I'd like to see if he would be willing to offer you the job. I'm like, oh, that's fantastic. Makes the call. Gets off the phone and goes, the guy's retiring in 6 months. Can you make it till then? Otherwise, the job's yours. And I'm like, yeah, I can. So 6 months goes by. And I get the call. The DA actually calls me back. And he's like, hey, what are you doing? And I'm like, well, you're not going to believe it, but I am currently working alongside Johnny Depp on Pirates 4. Doing stunts. And he goes, that's awesome. Then you found your way to what you want to do. The job is available. Do you want it? I said, you know what? I think I'm going to roll the dice and gamble, and I'm going to stay with this. I'm going to do this, but I greatly appreciate everything that you've done for me. And he's like, I am never going to see you again. And I know it. And I wish you luck doing what you do. And that was how I got into stunts.
It's a surreal moment.
Yeah, it's like the thing I don't always think back, but I look back, I'm like, well, that was how I got into stunts.
You have to roll the dice. I think everybody has that one moment in time where you're just like, well, F it. Here he goes, nothing, And
I was fortunate, we kind of talked earlier on that job, the people I was with for that first couple of weeks. First of all, first couple of weeks in Hawaii, not the worst job to start on.
Right, I was going to say, in Hawaii,
with the most amazing Adam Hart, Brian McLight, Mark Skizak, Alex Chansky, and Sam Hargrave, meeting those guys for the first time, and that's the little group that I was with. So I was very fortunate that Adam Hart and Brian McLight were like, wait, this is like your first big job? And I'm like, yeah. And they're like,
showed up.
Come to us. come sit by us.
Take.
When we get back to Los Angeles, you're going to do A, B, C, and to this day.
Oh, that's awesome.
You've got my Lone Heart mug right there. Adam's still one of my great friends.
Yeah. Well, you hear that, folks. So basically, if you want to be like John here, just take a gun to the airport. And,
do not do that.
And
I could give you 1,000 other ways to get into stunts that
and
are
you'll be
way
Bucky,
better.
You'll be Bucky Barnes.
Well, anti-heroes are going to have the dirty past.
Right.
Redemption and the clean future.
I support it. I totally support it. Do not mention India food poisoning. Why do we write that on the fucking card then? I read everything that's on this card. No, we don't have to talk about that unless you want to. You know what I'm saying? Oh, we don't talk about that.
I think if you have the opportunity as a stunt professional or entertainment industry professional to work anywhere in the world, and I've been very, very fortunate in my career that I am. I have friends in Australian stunt friends, French, UK, Japanese, Russian, Kazakhstan, Slovakian, South African,
All the
Indian,
Ians.
like people. Look, there's good stunt professionals and bad stunt professionals every location. So anybody that's ever like, nah, this is where the good people are. It's like this. It's like, oh, the best people are here. Yeah, there's good people and there's bad people everywhere. I'm fortunate to know good people in everywhere.
That's
and
awesome.
the first time we were in India, you gotta be careful what you eat and what you drink because
shit happens, literally.
Quite literally. So Hutch told you the whole story.
No. I know nothing. I know nothing of this story, honestly.
It's so we got sick, and it's probably one of the worst feelings on the planet. And you will make sounds like a raptor, and your shower is your only safe place. So probably for graphicness, maybe we'll leave it at that. But I was one of the first to fall.
The old jelly belly.
Yeah, Delhi Belly is it's
Delhi Belly
from New Delhi.
Delhi Belly. Yeah.
But yeah, it's but at the same time, for almost dying of that, you'd meet some of the most amazing guys that were like.
How long were you in India for?
That first run, we were there for 3 months.
Oh wow!
And we would meet guys that would, they'd travel 3 hours just because they wanted to be like, well, they knew our entire resumes. And like, I want to work with you guys to learn this, to change the way we do things here.
Yeah.
And some of the most beautiful, amazing people that are still friends today. Shiva.
Yeah, I've always wanted to go to India. Never had the.
Go for it. At least anytime you have those kind of opportunities, I say go at least once. Do it at least once.
Yeah, I just want to take like a year to travel. That's definitely on my list, though. India.
It's more fun when they pay you to go too. And like, if you're working in India, you definitely have to be careful of some things because they have a different mentality towards things, and it's like it's definitely a cultural thing of you go and it's not just like stunts is stunts is stunts. You have the way that things are done there. Like you can have they're the stunt masters who have done this for a long time, so they kind of have seniority on things.
Right.
Doesn't mean they're the most professional stunt person. Like we had a young guy who was amazingly talented, and now he's doing great things. And his name was Natraj, though. And Natraj was very young. He was super motivated and super talented, and he was very bilingual, so we would rely on him a lot. And what we've come to find out is that some of the older stunt guys were hard on him because they're like, we should be the ones doing this. We should be doing like, dude, you're taking a nap behind the set. Like every 20 minutes when we need guys. He's the one that's front and center. By the way, we hardly can talk because you don't know English. How is this there? But they would treat him bad. So one of the things we were able to do is the stunt guys that we were with that were local to that were an amazing team. And we were like, hey, there's this kid and we're using this. And they're watching him. They're checking him out. And they're like, okay, film wraps. And they're like, you're with us now. And they kept him, and now his career.
Yeah. That's awesome. Yeah. That's really just how the industry works in general. Honestly,
I think good people always end up on top, and the bad ones will always just kind of fade away. Yep. Eventually, you get to a point where you're good. You have so much going on that you just don't have time. For the crappiness,
which
nobody else does.
Yeah. We've heard a lot of stories recently.
There's always going to be a lot of stories. We work in drama, so we have been doing a bunch of interviews for the Bondsman, obviously. Tell us your experiences on set of the Bondsman. What did you get to do? I was very fortunate that I literally had one day in between 2 jobs last year. And I got to go to work on Bondsman for it, which is amazing because...
I actually didn't know that part. You came in just one day. They were like, yeah.
I wrapped on Thunderbolts. Yeah. I had one day that I could work, and then I was going to start Peacemaker Season 2.
Okay.
And that one day, Hutch called me, and I love him. He's one of my favorite people to work for. He is one of the best professionals. He's like, hey, you want to come do this? And I was like, absolutely. And I believe she's been a guest on the show. The amazing actress, Catherine Barnes, was cast in this. So it's like, we had her on Average Joe, and that's where we met her. So it's like getting the chance to work with Hutch and then Kat, and I'm like, I'm in all day long. This is going to be phenomenal. And it's the scene where she comes in and
she's gonna kill you.
takes over everybody,
Yeah.
and you rip the jaw off your face, and it's a whole restaurant full of it. And
how long did those prosthetics take?
oh, I'm blanking on the gentleman's name, and I apologize for that to him because he is amazing.
Oh,
and it's all on Instagram and everything like that. But
you know what? Yeah, I literally just saw this yesterday, so I should also know his name.
It's
I saw it on Instagram.
amazing, and he did it like that, and it was, the piece wasn't necessarily even made for me, but he made it lay perfectly.
Yeah,
where it's just this huge lower jaw, and it was great because Hush had a great relationship with the director, and she was amazingly open to everything. So as we were doing the whole scene of people ripping their jaws off, everybody's supposed to go to the floor,
right?
And then Catherine's at the jukebox in the back.
Yeah, making love to it.
And and there's this moment, and I kind of mentioned to Hutch, I'm like, everything's low, and then you go to her high.
Yeah.
If you want something a little more transitional, I don't need to go to the floor. I can just slam my head on the table and collapse. And he's, Hush is somebody that he will never take the credit. He will always give it where it's due. So he brings the director over and he goes, hey, I want him to tell you this because he did this. So I don't want you to think it's coming from me. And I'm like, he's too modest. This is it. I was just like, if you want, I can do this. I will fall onto the table and I'll give you a little more transition. Then you have levels of the kind of chaos. And,
yeah.
I don't know what the audience is for this, so I don't want to swear of the effed upness of these jaws and everything being ripped off. I mean, we've seen the show. If you've seen it, okay, then you can definitely say fucked upness because it's in there. But I get up, I rip my jaw off.
It's brutal.
And I just, it's a simple thing. I swing my left leg back, so then when I, go dead, my head just hit the table, and it was a hard thing to the point where it was like,
why don't we go sit down?
oh, you okay? I'm like, yeah, I'm fine. Like we got this in there, but it was a nice little impact moment. And, he sent me the clip and he goes, they really liked you ripping your face off. And I like to talk.
That's
obviously, if it isn't noticeable in this,
that's why he brought you in.
Probably a lot of people that are like, oh, I ripped his damn jaw off. Oh my God, this is incredible.
Yes.
Finally can't say another word. But amazing crew, amazing show. So many talented people working on it.
Yeah, oh yeah. So several of the crew we have already interviewed. We've already talked to a bunch of them. We just did the interview with Kat. So we talked a lot about you as well. We brought up Average Joe, which actually I have not seen you since Average Joe. That was the last time I saw you. That was almost 3 years ago. Yeah.
Was it 3 years ago?
To 2022. Oh. So it was the end of 2022. Yeah.
We had a strike.
Right.
Took us out for like a year.
Yeah,
And then I was Thunderbolts to Peacemaker, which was all last year.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure that was the last time that we ran into each other.
That's what you crushed it, by the way.
Dude, I did so good that he hasn't hired me since. That's amazing.
I haven't been in a position. I've just been falling down. I've been very fortunate that people I'm falling down for, Sebastian, Freddie Stroma, and those.
Oh yeah.
But no, well, trust me, that'll definitely change.
Yeah,
you crushed it. You got stabbed by some antlers.
Oh God, yeah.
That show was
a brutal death.
Such a surprise at how, not like this, but working on it, it was so good, and then just to see it when it comes out, and it's like, wow, this was phenomenal. And they're in South Africa doing season 2 right now.
Yeah.
But
we went to Africa. That's crazy. They're in South Africa filming.
Not much shooting in the U.S.
Yeah. Oh, I know. Believe me.
So do I.
I've seen the breakdowns. But you also mentioned Thunderbolts. Obviously, that is the, I guess, coup de grace of all your films.
Be sure to watch part 2 where we talk Thunderbolts with JOHN NANIA.